So today's Yap session, we're going to talk about a topic that's pretty interesting, and I know most of you will relate. We're going to talk about dreams. So it's just a topic that's in my head all the time, especially because I have some weird dreams. A lot of my dreams tend to be more on like nightmare side. I have also had lucid dreams as well. Lately, I have been forgetting my dreams. I know I'm dreaming, but I don't remember them, and then I'm not having enough. I am not having any lucid dreams as of late. I wish I have, like they came back, because I really enjoy having lucid dreams. But we're gonna talk about dreams, so stick around. Uh, Now, dreams. Everybody's experienced dreams. Even if you say, I don't dream, that's technically not true. If you reach REM sleep, that's when you dream. And then REM sleep happens in short bursts. So it's not something that happens throughout the time that you're sleeping. So your dreams, although they may feel pretty long when you're having them, they're actually quite short in real life. And so there's a lot of theories out there as to why we dream. One of them is, of course, memory consolidation. So you're processing information that you've gathered throughout the day. For example, let's say you saw something very specific. Maybe your dream could be related to that, or maybe you heard a specific word, so your dream is related to that word. It's also for emotional regularity. So it helps you process intense emotions, right? Like sadness, grief, happiness, you name it. And then there's also a interesting theory. It's threat simulation. So it's an evolutionary theory. Basically, it helps you rehearse certain threats that you may feel are, something that you can come across, right? And then obviously brain maintenance. Your brain is a supercomputer. And so it has to regulate itself, maintain itself. So it organizes your memories, just like you would a computer, right? And then the last area is, of course, for information processing. So it kind of helps you sort throughout your life, sort out your life events, and again, processes that information. So it's kind of tied to the first theory, which was the memory consolidation theory. So that's typically, again, the reasons why we dream. But a lot of us culturally, we like to put meaning behind our dreams. And I'm one of those people that if I have a dream that's very specific, I will look it up and be like, what's the meaning, right? And there's like 10 different meanings depending on the culture. And, you kind of just pick whichever one you'd like, I guess, or whichever one relates to you. So when I was, my dreams, I do have, I've experienced lucid dreaming. I've experienced sleep paralysis. I've also experienced just regular dreams. But for the better part of my life, I experienced nightmares. Yeah. So, or just freaky dreams, like kind of scary um, dreams. So during my teens up until my early 20s, a lot of my dreams consisted of snakes. Especially during my teenage years, it was just snakes. Large snakes, very large snakes. You're talking like, 30 feet long, and they're like pretty wide snakes, and they're just they happen to be hanging out outside the patio or something. um Surprisingly, most of the dreams that I had of snakes, the snakes wouldn't really attack me, but they seemed a little bit aggressive, so I would either attack them or try to just like get rid of them. um Send them somewhere else or move them somewhere else. So I looked it up, and when you dream of snakes, according to wise Mr. Google, it's because you're facing a challenge. a challenging situation, and you have, you're proving to yourself that you have the strength to navigate that specific challenge without it actually, crushing you or bringing you down. So it makes sense. A lot of my youth, I had a lot of different challenges, as we all do. And I think my brain was just trying to process that as, you'll get through it. It's a big challenge, but it's not gonna hurt you. And some of these snakes that I mean, they were like pythons, cobras, vipers. It was wild. There was dreams I still remember where I was just in a room filled with snakes, just like snakes on a plane, kind of like that. Um, and I was, I would get scared, but then I kind of just would try to navigate that situation as best as I could. Um, Lately, I haven't had any snake related dreams. So I guess I'm past those challenges. Um, Lately, what I've been having is for the better part of my 20s was just dreams of being chased or me looking for someone. So dreams of me being like in a college setting, big university, trying to hide from someone who was chasing me down or me looking for someone specifically. And that dreams of being chased typically mean that you're avoiding something stressful, right? Or just a situation. And again, that kind of relates, that kind of checks out. There are certain situations that I try to avoid, but I mean, I can't avoid them. I have to face them head on. So I can see how that would translate into my dreams, uh, you know, but those are some of the dreams I've had. I've had dreams. I remember one specific one that I had many months ago. Basically, I was in this huge building in a city, and I was wearing this gown for some reason, and I was going from floor to floor, just trying to avoid a specific person. And I knew that they were following me. I don't know who this person was, to be quite honest. I just know it was a guy. And they were just following me. And I would go to one floor and go into a room. But then I found out that he would, you know, find out I was in that specific floor. So then I'd go to a different floor and go to a different area. So that was my dream. Um, I also have had, and I know a lot of us have, I feel like we all have the same experience. Are we living the same life? um, Dreams about being chased by aliens or UFOs, right? So um, I have the specific ones that I have. I don't really see the creatures. I see the UFOs. So I'll be like, it's usually nighttime in my dreams, and I'm usually either the one driving or a passenger, and there's UFOs in the sky and they're shooting lasers and abducting or killing people. Oops, abducting people, things like that. So, uh, I'm trying to run away from these creatures, or I'll be in a house with other people, and we close the windows. We made sure that the doors are locked. But it's like that movie from way back in the day with Tom Cruise. They're kind of going through houses, trying to see who's in those houses and, taking people. So those are the dreams that I have related to aliens. I'm usually hiding in like a kitchen cupboard or like underneath the bed or something, trying not to get caught. I'm not fighting. In my alien dreams, I don't fight. I'm not fighting the aliens. I'm just hiding, hoping that they don't catch me or running away. So I guess that kind of defies my fight or flight mode. I don't know. I'm sure if I had to, I would fight. But in my dreams, I kind of hide, right? And then, I've had other dreams. I've had, I'm sure, we all have random dreams. I've had a dream where there was a bear right outside my front door and it was huge. It was like 10 feet and it was, just there and trying to get in or attack me. I know there's certain dreams that carry a lot of meaning. In my culture, my mom says that dreaming of water can represent death. I don't really know. I, I like a running river or something like that. And also, if you're offered food, I recently found out that if you're offered food in a dream by a stranger, that you should not eat it. Don't eat that food. Yeah, because it's a bad omen, apparently. I've also had a lot of lucid dreams. So I've had dreams that, I have a dream that night, and then I feel like it was unfinished. So the next day, I have the same dream and I continue that dream. I've done that a handful of times. It's been a while, but I miss doing that. I wish I could know how I was able to do that because that's pretty cool. Continuing a dream. I think the longest I continued a dream for was for like 3 days or 3 nights. I'm sorry. So that's pretty cool. Actually, a fun fact, about 50% of the population is able to lucid dream. So you can do it. You can do it. So basically what lucid dream is like you have control of your dream. For me, specifically, what I end up doing during lucid dreams is I tend to, if I don't like the outcome of something, I rewind time, but I know that I'm dreaming. So I already know that this is a dream. I'm just living through it. A lot of times I allow myself to see what's going to happen in that specific dream. But then if I don't like the outcome, I'll say, no, let's do that again. So it's pretty cool. Um, and then sleep paralysis. I actually didn't experience sleep paralysis until I was an adult. I've experienced sleep paralysis, I think, 2 or 3 times in my entire life. Most recently, a few months ago, one of the dreams that I had while experiencing like sleep paralysis, and everybody experiences sleep paralysis differently. Some people see, a figure or a woman on their chest, um, or a figure in the corner of the room. I just, it's like a combination of like lucid dreaming and sleep paralysis for me. So the last dream I had that I would say is sleep paralysis, it falls under that category, was I remember I was in my bed. I remember I was, sleeping. So basically, I knew I was sleeping and I was going to wake up. And I have a light right on the corner of my bed that I usually can just extend my hand, turn it on and off, right? And the light turns on. So I wanted to wake up. I knew I had been having a dream, and then I woke up from the dream. And it was daytime. I was in my room. I was in my bed. The only difference was that I was sleeping on the opposite side, so on the foot of my bed. Or the headboard was on the opposite side of where my actual headboard was. And I woke up from the dream and I turned on the light, or I reached out to turn on the light, and the light wasn't turning on. But I knew that the electricity hadn't gone out because the fan was still going on. And the little air purifier that I have in my room, that one was still going on, and I could hear it. And that air purifier has a little light, so I knew I had electricity. I just couldn't figure out why the light wasn't turning on, and I kept turning it on. And as I'm trying, I start panicking. I literally start panicking. I'm like, nope, I'm stuck. I'm stuck. I'm stuck. And what I mean stuck, I meant stuck in my dream. So I said, please wake up. Don't be stuck. Don't get stuck. Don't get stuck. Eventually, as I turn on the light, I wake up and I was shaken. So that was an experience I had of like sleep paralysis and lucid dreaming. Like I knew I was dreaming and I knew I was stuck in my dream and I just couldn't get out for a little while. And that was pretty scary. Um, so yeah, I just wanted to talk to you guys, yap about dreams. I'm sure you guys have at least, I feel like most of us have had dreams related to aliens. I feel like that's in pop culture now. So that's pretty cool that, we all share that common experience, but still, I know it's pretty freaky. I'm sure a lot of us have had experiences with sleep paralysis. I've talked to some people that experience sleep paralysis, and it's not a very nice thing to have. I've heard that if you take melatonin, like those sleeping gummies, that you will have a higher chance of experiencing sleep paralysis. So I've never taken that. Even if I've struggled to sleep, I won't take it just because I don't want to, trigger that. Sleep paralysis is pretty scary on its own. And then I know most of us have experienced lucid dreaming. I miss having lucid dreams. I want to train myself to have those dreams again just because it's pretty fun. But yeah, thank you for stopping by. Thank you for watching this video, and I hope everybody has a great day. If you've had like random dreams that are kind of wacky, you can put it in the comments. I do read those comments. So again, thank you for stopping by. Bye.